It's rare that people, one, see the end there and then think this is exactly how I want to go out and then get to do it.
Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we are here to get to some real interesting things, some real interesting things. All right, Smackdown, December 12th, 2025, and Saturday night's main emergency. All right, December 13th, 2025. One was a lot better than the other. And we're going to break that down thoroughly. All right, I got about 1,000 cc's of water in me right now. Okay, my microphone's been fucking with me all morning, and trust me, I got a big chip on my shoulder. So let's get right to Smackdown. All right, the 12th of December 2025. This was essentially a good piece of foreplay, okay, before you got raw dogged and fucked the next day. Okay, this is practically all this was. With Obafemi and Cody Rhodes standing in the middle of the ring, with Obafemi dog walking Cody. Cody doesn't even respond to Oba. That's how over this fucking guy is, okay? The crowd is behind him, all right? He's on the main card. He fits like a fucking glove, but unfortunately, as we all will find out later, does not play out and go anywhere. This doesn't lead to anything. I told you that during that fucking NXT deadline review, right, this very shotgun review I gave, that if you were going to make Obafemi champion, there would be no reason to have him go over in that match. Lo and behold, look at what the fuck we're dealing with. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on this Oba and Cody segment except for Oba taking over the entire fucking crowd, all right, in a matter of a couple of seconds. All right, next thing that we're going to be talking about is Ilya Dragunov versus Tommaso Ciampa. Fine match, good match. Ilya got busted open. I mean, Ilya's a great wrestler. I mean, that's that. I don't know where the DIY shit's going, but there was some Mello chants after, so hopefully Mello gets a good push because Mello, just like Oba, very fucking over. Next we could be talking about Javon Evans versus The Miz, youthful black talent getting put over by The Miz, you know, story as old as time. Not much to speak about here except for Javon Evans, just like Obafemi, fitting like a glove on this main roster. And lastly, we're going to be talking about the women in this division. Jade is giving dog shit because Bianca has been out with a broken finger for about 8 months now. So essentially we're just going to keep getting Jade Cargill versus the Job Squad instead of Charlotte, instead of Bailey, instead of people more established in this industry. We're just gonna see Jade go up against a bunch of nobodies because her stock doesn't matter. Why? Because she's a black woman in the WWE, right? We could also talk about Lash versus Bliss. Alexa Bliss is great in that ring, and she makes Lash look like a demon. Lash obviously goes over, and hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, this leads to some kind of anything for Lash. But again, black woman, extremely talented in WWE. We can only be so lucky. And that was pretty much SmackDown. Aside from the terrorist twins versus the married individuals, I don't care about Zelina botching. I really don't care about that because this company doesn't produce any of their matches. So Zelina not being able to hit a move kind of makes sense in the entirety of this fucking company. Not gonna lie. What I will say though is I'm shocked about is this being the main event. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, they're just when's the last time Damian Priest drawed like at least 3,000 people to a fucking WWE event, right? Rhea Ripley going out there, the star power. Aleister Black, some kind of star power. Listen, I wholeheartedly believe that the Fed only acknowledges you if you are from AEW, if you completely burn the banner of AEW. Like when Jericho comes back, he's gonna be welcomed with open arms, even if he's dog shit. The Fed fans are gonna try to find a way to make excuses for his shitty ass booking, right? But with this Aleister Black shit, this guy should be put in fucking death matches, cage matches. He'd be busting people open. Honestly, if you ask me, I think a best of 5 or a best of 6 between Eli would be maybe one of the better things this company could do. But again, that's creativity, that's entertainment, and that's something that WWE does not involve themselves in. All right, now getting right into December 13th, 2025's main night emergency. It was maybe one of the worst fucking things I have ever watched. And I mean that. I watched Power, okay? I watched Power and Empire and that little offshoot show with the little mixed white girl, okay? I watched all 3 of those fucking Fox original shows. Dog shit television. This shit right here was maybe some of the most fucking egregious booking, some of the grossest, bloated fucking, some of the most bloated, grossest fucking production I have ever fucking seen in my life. In my fucking life. AEW's worst show doesn't compare to this. I mean that shit. I mean that shit. Edge versus Mox, Revolution 2025. That compared to this is fucking Shakespeare. Let's go through this thoroughly, shall we? Okay, Obafemi versus Cody, maybe one of the better matches of the night. Really wasn't that bad. As I said before, Obafemi is a fucking star. He should have gone over cleanly. The crowd was behind him the entire fucking match. And what does he get? What does he get? He gets a fucking DQ finish, all right? And a lot of content creators out there were saying that this is maybe one of the best moves. Shout out to my girl, Wrestling and Podcast. You know, that was kind of her idea of how this match would end. And, you know, all credit to the oracles out there who called this shit show before we could see it happen. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't imagine Drew McIntyre, like in kayfabe, like understanding that this match could go on Oba's side. This could lead to Cody Rhodes dropping this title and kind of putting him back at evil playing field with the Drew, right? Because if he's not a champion anymore, then all the fancy little stipulations, all the cute little fucking rules and jazzmatazz that goes into him being the champion, those aren't applied anymore because Obafemi has now relinquished him of those duties. But no, we don't get that. It's not Drew McIntyre using common sense. It's not Obafemi dominating the competition and relinquishing the NXT title to show that the future is now, right? And what John Cena said is coming to fruition in real time. No. See, that would be too creative. That would be too interesting. That would be too hard. Okay, so what do we get? We get a no contest DQ match, meaning Obafemi goes right back to the fucking developmental brand. Cody Rhodes goes back to month 17 of fucking him and Drew McIntyre, and the crowd couldn't give less of a fuck. All right, I'm not even gonna spend too much time on this shit show. How many more fucking episodes do you people want me to fucking talk about Drew and Cody? I can't keep doing it, folks. I can't keep doing it. We are now in month 8 of this shit, all right? It is growing extremely stale, extremely fucking stale. Oh my gosh. I mean, let's continue down the show, shall we? We also get Bayley versus Sol Ruca. Bayley won't go to the dub. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I don't think Bayley is going to go to the dub anytime soon. She should go to the dub because her boss is a fucking Trump brown-nosing fucking Nepo baby bitch who can't do his fucking job. He's so fucking bald that when he tries to write down on a piece of paper, okay, who gets fucking blinded by the fluorescent light on his old fucking scalp. And that has to be the only reason for some of this booking. I mean it. The only reason for this booking being what it is has to be that he is blinded by his own fucking baldness. Okay, and maybe he can't write in straight lines anymore. Okay, maybe Mello looks like Miz on fucking paper. I don't know anymore, bro. This shit sucked. Sol Ruca pick up the dub. Good for you, Sol Ruca. I'm proud of you. Again, the future is now. Young stars coming to fruition. I mean, young stars getting what they deserve in this company. You know, happy for it. But like, if we're gonna really use our thinking caps, Bayley versus Jade is right there. Asuka is right there. There are so many people in that fucking women's locker room who could actually be doing something. Instead, they're eating pins and doing nothing with their fucking careers in the eyes of Triple Booker, Triple Frauder, Triple Fina, Triple, are you enjoying the show now? Fucking fraud ass nigga, bro. Listen, AJ and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. They poached Leon Slater off the indie fucking market. So I don't even really have too much to say about Leon Slater except for him signing the dotted line and doing better for him and his family. Good for him, right? What I can say though, with the Javon Evans and Leon Slater as a team, it just doesn't make a lot of sense on paper because Leon Slater is supposed to be a TNA talent. So why isn't he maybe more adjacent to like NXT pay-per-views? And also in the same realm, Javon Evans is an NXT talent. So why isn't he maybe more adjacent and more in proxy to TNA pay-per-views? Right? Like them coming up to the main card for a main card pay-per-view, it's like on paper it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's a great match. Amazing match. It's an amazing match. But I don't know. I have a really hard time understanding what they're doing with this tag division. Like, just think about this for a second, right? Instead of the Street Profits, or even maybe like the Wyatt Six, maybe another branch of the Wyatt Six or something, right? We get the quote unquote, right? Because that's what they want to market NXT as, not like as premier indie shit. They want to market it as a developmental brand with people who can't fucking do their combat roles properly. So you have the developmental brand going up against your main card tag champions, and you have tag people like you have tag competitors on your main card already. It's just a little odd. It's a little odd. But that's neither here nor there. Javon Evans really should have picked up a pin here, but I mean, maybe the titles didn't have to be on the line for that to be the case. Obviously, though, the titles were on the line, so Javon didn't pick up a pin. I mean, I don't know. It was nothing. This was nothing. This was just another fucking waste of everybody's time. Last waste of everybody's time that we will be touching on: Gunther versus Cena. And the long and short end of it, Cena tapped, and that was the wrong choice. That was maybe one of the worst choices you could have fucking made after the booking in the show, after you don't crown a new champion Obafemi, after you have Bayley, one of the most beloved fucking female stars, eat a pin, after you sit here and you do some nonsense fucking match with AJ Styles and the quote unquote developmental boys. I really can't understand what the fuck goes on in this nigga's head. I don't know. And I'm like stunned. I'm shocked. Cena, as he was tapping, he looked so like defeated, and not in a kayfabe kind of defeat, like shoot defeated. He looked like, hey, if I pass out, I'm probably gonna get a fucking dry rub from backstage, right? And reasonably, I want to go out of here on good terms, right? Because he wants, he deems this as his family, and that's kind of the brainwashing that Vince McMahon Sr. has established in a lot of these old acts, right? CM Punk, he goes out there and he fucking wipes his ass with the fucking crowd every chance he gets, and it's crazy. Because I can't understand somebody to the level of CM Punk's popularity, and it's almost like he just doesn't get it. Like, he doesn't understand fans still, and I really do think that's a consequence of the fucking Vince McMahon, Paul Levesque, fucking McMahon Jr. brainwashing. John Cena, he has been on a fucking tour for maybe 2-3 entire weeks, just eating up fucking WWE's dick, man, just eating it up, just fucking going, well, all the bad stuff, that doesn't matter. We gotta push forward to the good stuff. We gotta look forward to what's ahead. And this is what's ahead, John. It's not a Kenny Omega match. It's not a Will Ospreay match. It's not one of the biggest pops in AEW or New Japan Pro Wrestling history. That's not what we're gonna get. We got this. We got a guy who tapped out to Jey Uso, all right, who got dicked down by Sami Zayn the year before, who got fucking bitch slapped for 30 minutes by Patrick McDonald in a 50-50 match. That's who you tapped out to, John. That's who you tapped out to. You couldn't even pass out. All right, you know what I would have fucking done, John? I would have went into business for myself. I think you should have went into business for yourself a long fucking time ago. When they had you standing next to Travis and fucking The Rock, worth no plans, no build up, no actual story, that's when you go into business for yourself. That second right there, in the moment. Because this, I don't know if that was going into business for yourself, John, but oh man, and it really does boil down to that old saying, you can only blame yourself when you make your own choices. I mean, Cena could have went out there and just not listened to the fucking papers. He could have not listened to the dirt sheets. He could have just passed out. He could have fought and powered up and tried to get the crowd going, and then he just dies in the middle of the ring. No tap, no anything. Pure suffocation. Go into business for your fucking self, bro. It's, man, the look on some of those people's faces, man, that wasn't like this is good booking. That was like, this is one of the worst fucking shows I've seen. And, all credit where credit is due. The show got put on and the show finished. Nobody fucking died, unlike Zelina, and she almost fucking, tore fucking, God, that was terrible. Right? And nobody fucking died, right? But, man, you could just feel the life get sucked out of that room. And that's not how you end a match. That's not, because even if Gunther wins, right, you have him pin Cena, right, being that Cena, we got pinned, right, because he got overtaken by the young star, right, or you have him pass out because he never gave up, right, and then the crowd has a reason to kind of rally or react with some kind of vigour. But bro, when the fucking bell rang, everybody was just not even gasping, they were sighing. It was like a universal sigh, and it's it was an awful way to end that show. It was very, very, very fucking bad. Very bad. To a shocking amount that this is what you put on. And, I don't want to talk about the fuck happens after. Oh my God. After the match, the entire fucking locker room comes out, including this bald bitch, all right, because he has to make everything about his fucking self, right? CM Punk and Cody come out there, they drop the fucking titles on him, which I guess is maybe a reason why Oba didn't do it, because Oba dropping the, well, no, actually, I think Oba putting the title on Cena would have actually been so much more fucking impactful, of showing that the future is actually now. I'm not fucking going back on that. Oda should have won that fucking match, right? Oba should have won that fucking match, right? Anyways, they drop the titles on him, he raises them, he bows to the crowd, he says his thank yous, he wipes a couple of crocodile tears, and he goes on about the ramp, salutes the crowd, and he says, it's been a pleasure serving you all, thank you. Now, on a real heart-to-heart, John Cena has been most of our childhoods, or at least a good part of our, or at least a good part of our experience with the Fed, right? Whether you're 20, whether you're in your 30s, you have experienced and you have had some ideas about the one and the only Jonathan Cena, right? And, you know, he has really been a symbol for what everything wrestling should be, right? It should be perseverance. It should be teamwork. It should be loving what you do. It should be loving the fans, right? And that's everything that he was for so long. And it really is really disheartening to see such a massive piece of the wrestling world walk away and not even tease something somewhere else. And I really do wish that maybe he goes out there and he says, well, John Cena retired, but Mr. Cena doesn't go any, but Mr. Cena is a wrestling fanatic and he loves AEW. Right? And I really am just like pulling at straws here, but I would have loved for anything else to be what the fuck we got with this Cena shit, because it wasn't worth it. It wasn't fucking worth it. The fucking media scrum after this, I don't even call it a media scrum, because it was basically just a bunch of WWE talking heads, right? You know, Rosenberg, Big E, and Joe Tessitore, right? Sleepy Joe, saying, hey, you know, we had a great time with this match. We had a great time with this pay-per-view. You know, what are your thoughts on everything? Or our premium live event, because I guess this technically wasn't a pay-per-view, right? If it was on wait, no, well, you have to pay for Peacock, I guess. So yeah, it is kind of a pay-per-view, right? They asked how he's kind of digesting the pay-per-view, and the crowd is ripping him alive, bro. Even after the fucking match ended, I think fuck you Hunter chants broke out, which is crazy. He got fucking booed to high heaven when he walked out there and he gave Cena the fucking neck hug. I mean, he's out there speaking about shit. They're chanting AEW, they're chanting you fucked up, they're chanting fuck you, they won't let him speak. It was bad. It was very, very, very fucking bad. And if you honestly want to compare this just in like simple schematics to what the fuck Tony Khan had to go through on his last little media scrum with Final Battle, my nigga, that was fairly positive. Did it get a lot of fucking media shine? No. But even that one question from that amazing content creator, Mini Portal, shout out to you, girl. She said, you know, hey, are we going to get an all women's pay-per-view sometime soon? No, it seems like the women's division is worthy, right? And Tony Khan, he made his comments, and that made headlines, right? That was a positive outcome from the media scrum. Opposed to this shit, oh, it was bad. And then you had the fucking Joe Hendry and Miz shit. Oh, God. Don't even fucking get me started on that R-Truth segment, bro. I don't even want to fucking speak on it. This company blows. This company is honestly in its worst fucking era it could ever be in. They were chanting for Vince to come back, which isn't gonna fucking happen, but I think that's just a telltale sign that something has to change. Something has to fucking change in this company, okay? It's bad. It's bad, and it's only gonna get worse. And again, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked at all, right? I mean, honestly, from the second we got fucking John Cena just turning face on a random episode of Smackdown, I knew that this shit was downhill. And at that time, he only had 11 dates left. So, you know, I'm just not shocked. Not shocked. If anything, I'm kind of satisfied, honestly. Like I got what I thought I was gonna get. I thought I was gonna get dog shit, and I got dog shit, you know. And there's nothing else I can say about it. The IWC is in fucking flames, and as they should be. Next we will be reviewing AEW's Collision. It took place same night, about 2 hours prior, December 13th, 2025. That was Smackdown, December 12th, 2025. That was Smackdown, December 12th, 2025, and Saturday night's Emergency. All right. December 13th, 2025. I hope all of you have a great one whenever you catch this. And as I always say, all right, hustle, loyalty, respect. All right, peace.